Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is episode 44 for April 7th, 2021. I am Nemesis, and I am joined by Alcatraz here.
Hello.
Yes, we're once again talking about some anime stuff. The spring anime season is actually underway at this point. We're getting real close, and as of one thing I'm definitely excited for, as of the release of this episode, the day after will be the premiere of Zombieland Saga Revenge.
Woo!
So I'm very excited for that. Yeah, yes, we'll get to the spring sampler, but not for a bit because I don't want to have a really tight schedule.
Yeah.
Because we had to cut a lot of stuff last time for winter because, can't watch that one because the third episode won't be out by the time we record.
Yeah. Give us a little bit more buffer, make it easier on us.
So that won't show up till May. Beyond that, I'm trying to think of anything else of significance. There probably was, again. Well, actually, I'm almost certain there was.
Didn't they announce a certain game for Laid Back Camp?
Oh, that's right. There was that. There's that announced that, what was it?
It's like a console game.
Yeah. It was probably going to be like a visual novel or something, I bet.
Probably.
Yeah, from Mages. Console in some... They have not announced which systems it's coming from for. Just that it's coming.
Yeah.
And apparently these guys are known for mostly doing visual novel type stuff, so it's like probably going to be...
Probably going to be a visual novel.
Or an adventure game, any which way, kind of on a low budget. So probably nothing huge, but hey.
Still something interesting.
Something there, yeah. Anyway, we'll go ahead and talk about, I guess, the anime we watched for this week. Or two anime, actually. Because they were both very short.
Yes, they were.
And they're actually, as we said, it's part of the Bubblegum Crisis universe.
Yeah.
One of them being a prequel, one of them being a sequel. The prequel, we're going to go ahead and talk about that one first, because order.
Might as well. Yep.
Yeah. So 80 Police Files. That is what is called. It is a 3-episode anime. Yeah, very, very short. And it's about Leon, if you remember, the cop from Bubblegum Crisis. Leon McNichol is his name. Yeah. It's about his time when he was a rookie in the 80 Police. And basically 3 random adventures from that.
Yep.
So yeah, it's let's see, none of the 3 episodes are really connected. Not really.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, other than one person being important in the first and third one, but other than that, yeah. Let's see, the first one is about a boomer who he killed, then because of illegal recycling comes back. The second one is about a woman who's replaced a lot of her parts with artificial ones and then kind of loses it and starts attacking women on a subway.
Yep.
And then the third one is about it's basically RoboCop. Except, basically a cop is injured and then is made into a cyborg and then he goes crazy and then they have to kill him.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's what's interesting, I think, about this one is it's a lot more graphic, both in sex and violence, compared to Bubblegum Crisis and even Bubblegum Crash, the other thing we'll talk about later this episode.
Yes.
Noticeably more graphic.
He's just opening up, booby!
So, oh, hey, yep.
Oh, yep.
And then you get, the cops shooting up the boomer and it's like,
Yep, very graphic, blood.
Or when that initial boomer went on her little rampage.
Mm-hmm.
So, they definitely went a little more graphic on this one.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed is that even with the story and such, there was a definite attempt to be much deeper and darker with it. I'm not entirely certain how well it succeeded at it, though.
One thing I will also say is it feels like the anime is just trying to ask questions about stuff, but never really, come up with any real answers.
Right. Sometimes you don't need to.
Sometimes, but
this... I don't know. One of the things I felt about this one is it felt relatively, compared to Crash and Crisis, relatively low budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that may have hampered it a bit.
Yeah. Apparently, here's the other thing. It was supposed to be longer.
Yeah, that was another one. It's like only 3. Because it really feels like they're trying to tell one thing.
Yeah.
One particular thing and reiterate it. And it's about like what it means to be human compared to a robot. It's very much like the same message that Ghost in the Shell said, but Ghost in the Shell did it a lot better than this. But I think it may also be primarily budget, because this feels really low budget. They want to do a lot, but couldn't.
That's what I was getting at, which is what it means to be human. They don't really, I feel like they don't really explore it that well.
No,
the concept.
And it feels like there was a really, they really tried, but I feel like got held back, one, by budget, primarily budget, and the fact that there's, like you said, it was supposed to be longer.
And what happened was legal issues.
Yeah. So I feel if they had better budget and less legal issues and were able to continue, they may have been able to really ask those questions better and been able to better execute on it. Because I think there was potential, but I don't think they quite met it.
Yeah. Also looking at a lot of this stuff, it feels a lot like they're trying to just be, a lot of it's kind of mired by just attempts to just be, we got to make it more quote unquote mature. Hence.
Yes. Yeah.
So because of that, it kind of hampered themselves because they kind of misunderstood what maturity is.
Yep. Yeah.
One big thing is, so the first episode is basically, it opens with Leon, and before he was just part of the regular police, and he got attacked by Boomer and shot it, right? Okay.
Right.
And then he winds up being a rookie on the AD police, and he's working with his superior officer, Gina Malso. She's I believe it's Gina, yeah. She's got a robot arm, which is cool, but
she's cool.
Yeah, she's actually kind of cool. The thing about this one is, well, he's working and stuff. Boomer is stalking him. It turns out, they're looking into like illegal Boomer part recycling, because you're not supposed to recycle Boomer parts except for very specific ways and all that stuff, right?
Right.
What happened was they wiped out Boomer's memory, except they couldn't get this one image out of it, and it was this guy who was shooting the Boomer, and it's Leon. And the Boomer is stalking Leon, not because out of some sort of weird revenge thing, but because apparently this Boomer developed a fetish.
Yeah, basically.
Because she's basically asking him to shoot her again, because she wants to feel the bullets penetrating and all that stuff. It's like, okay.
Yep.
This is a really advanced version of snuff, I guess.
I guess.
But of course, she also is willing to attack him if, to force him to shoot her.
Yep.
He's just weirded out.
I would be weirded out too.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's that episode. It's, again, it's kind of a weird thing. It's like this Boomer just randomly goes after Leon.
Yep. It was just,
kill me again.
Kill me again. And then it's like, part of it feels like, the fetish thing. Like, she developed a fetish for getting killed, which is weird. But there's also I don't want to be alive.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
It's an interesting thing there. The second one, it's a woman there's a woman who's going through, she's going to what's called the Paradise Loop, and it's basically kind of shut down subway loop, and there's a bunch of prostitutes and stuff. A lot of, I guess, the dregs, so to speak, of society kind of live there.
Yep. Yep.
So she's going there and murdering prostitutes, and partially because her husband went down there for prostitutes because, it was at work. Some guy figured out her menstrual cycle and basically said, when she's menstruating, she's super bad at work. So, you should hire me, promote me instead. And she's like,
worked.
Yeah, and it worked, even though probably wasn't true or whatever.
Yep.
So she's like, okay, fine. I'll get those parts removed.
Yep.
And then she winds up
artificial ones.
Loving the guy and marrying him, and then finding out he started cheating on her by, with prostitutes and everything. And then he's like, but, the whole like real women are better. And after that, she kind of snapped and went off and killed prostitutes and stuff.
Yep.
And there's a whole thing about like, there's part of it was just like they're following another woman who's like, she was having problems with her eyes. She was considering getting it replaced with a cybernetic one, so on and so forth.
Yep.
Yeah, and she basically part of it, that's again that whole what it means to be human thing.
Yeah, what it means to be human. They talked about the whole introducing a new law says, if you're, over like 70% boomer, you're considered a boomeroid.
Yep.
And not entirely human.
Yeah, boomers aren't humans, remember that.
Yeah. Again, this. I think we said this about Crisis. There seems to be this weird message about like the police as well, about whether or not they're good or not.
Well,
Like
it's the cyberpunk dystopian future, and they're not good.
Yeah, but it's weird. The message being said in the show, sometimes it explicitly goes into like in that one, they're specifically saying that whenever the AD police show up, they cause huge amounts of damage, and they don't like that.
Yeah.
But then it also turns around and says like they're not bad. It's just like,
yeah, it's a weird thing.
You're confusing your messages again.
Yeah, it's basically whether or not she should be killed or just arrested, whether or not she's still human and all. That's the big conflict. Because I believe the other girl was working for the regular police.
Yep.
For the thing, so yeah.
Normal police.
It's one of those things like, yeah. So she had the whole robot was replaced with cybernetics. Apparently, it was just. Apparently, she tried to go get her parts back, and like, no,
you can't do that. Apparently, it's not a thing. Yeah, and the last one was the RoboCop.
Yeah. The guy basically, a cop named Billy.
Billy.
Yeah, Billy got injured real bad, and they basically made most of his body into cybernetic parts. The only thing left literally was his brain and his tongue. Yep. And then basically
so he'd bite his.
Yeah, he bites his tongue.
Yeah, he bite his tongue so he could feel something.
Yeah. Basically, any which way, as time goes on, he gets kind of worse and worse at his job, and it's turning out like there's like his brain is suffering from sensory deprivation or something like that. That's what they said.
Something like that.
So any which way, he's having a hard time, and he's taking drugs, and he's injecting them into his tongue, and it's messing him up, and it's kind of guy kind of got dealt a bad hand, honestly.
Yeah.
Anyway, definitely he's just basically disassociating essentially, real bad. Can't feel anything. Every single input his brain gets is artificial, except for the pain on his tongue and all that stuff.
Yep.
Now it doesn't help
basically addicted to the drug.
Yeah, the scientists who put him together are like, this is like a whole experimental program, and all he has to do is last long enough for us to present it to the rest of the community. Then it doesn't matter if he dies or not.
Yep, and they're just treating him like a lab rat.
Yeah, except for one of them, she also treats him as a sex toy essentially.
Basically, yep.
Yeah, she's like, she doesn't care about him. She's just like, robot's so hot. Yeah, it's also the thing was apparently he was a lover with Gina at one point.
Yep.
Who she winds up being the only one who ultimately kills him because he's kind of pleading with her to kill him because at this point his life is hell.
Yep.
That was of course after he went on a rampage and killed the scientists and all that stuff. Yep. Yeah, it really is a weird mix of RoboCop and RoboCop 2.
It is. It's quite interesting.
It's interesting, they do that, but it's just it's a weird thing. But again, it's the whole what is human, what's not human.
What does it mean?
Because he is at this point the only parts of him that are still organic are the brain and the tongue, and everything else is mechanical. But it's like that almost feels like to me just like a flawed process, which really should have been more tested better before it was implemented.
Yeah, it's a dystopian future, which they don't care in the dystopia.
Yeah. It's one of those weird things. It's one of those things. It's like, who knows? It could have actually come up with a better process. Because the other thing is, Gina has that robot arm. She starts, she kind of is a little bit of a freak out about, the fact that part of her is artificial.
Yep.
It's like, that's just the arm, though. That's not like, everything. You'll be fine. You're not going to snap and start killing people because your arm's robot. Unless.
Who knows? Maybe.
It's like one of those things where it's like, comes up to feel like it gets a little too into the, anything, kind of weird.
Yeah, it almost goes like Luddite.
Yeah.
All technology is bad.
Yeah, it really starts to feel like that sometimes. It's like anyone who has anything artificial is bad. It's like, what about people like nowadays who, actually do have like artificial legs or something? Pacemakers or anything that's, not real on them. Yeah. Or not organic, I should say.
Yeah.
Are they made to feel bad because they have something that makes their life better?
Ocular implant. No, what the ear ones? What's not ocular? That's eyes.
Cochlear.
Cochlear implants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Technically, they're cyborgs.
Yep. A lot of people are technically cyborgs nowadays.
Yep.
But anyway, it's like it kind of does get a little too heavy-handed. I feel like in the being artificial is bad, and you're not human anymore. It's like I don't really agree with that assessment, honestly.
Yep, I don't agree with that either.
So it's like,
well, like I was saying, it tries really hard to be deeper, but I feel its execution on it was not that great.
Yeah. I guess, it's kind of tried, and many times I feel just like it was trying to, I think it was trying to punch above its weight.
Possibly, yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like you're not doing this topic any sort of justice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Apparently, it also has a sequel. I have no idea what the sequel's like. It's a full blown like 12 or 13 episode series. So 12 episode series, and I have no idea the quality that we haven't watched it. It might down the line some point, but I kind of want to let this franchise rest a bit.
Yeah, and that one's a little harder to find than these ones.
A little bit. But it's one of those things. It's like, sure. I think it's of the things we've watched so far about Bubblegum Crisis, I think it's the weakest stuff.
Yeah. Of the three things that we've watched.
It doesn't help that Leon himself was actually kind of a almost nothing character, if we're going to be honest.
It's like I forgot. For most of the time, I forgot that Leon was actually supposed to be.
Oh yeah, Leon exists.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the main dude, and he's just kind of barely there.
Yep.
Yeah, that tells you a lot, I think. That if the main character, then again, you're is the same thing, but that's kind of a joke there. But anyway.
Right.
We need to watch that too eventually.
Yeah, we do.
That one, I just got to figure out the logistics. But anyway, AD Police File's not great, honestly.
It's not great.
It's not outright terrible. It's got some cool moments, but you could skip it.
Yeah, overall,
you could skip it. We said, Bubblegum Crisis was fun to watch, and it was worth watching, even if it was kind of all style, no substance. But this is not really even worth it, like even checking out.
Yeah.
You can safely ignore it. It adds nothing of value. But anyways, I guess we'll go ahead and move on to the other one, which is Bubblegum Crash, the sequel to Bubblegum Crisis.
Yep.
Yeah. Bubblegum Crash takes place about 2 years in the future from Bubblegum Crisis, so the year 2034. Yeah, it's 3 episodes long again, except it's just longer because 80 Police Files, each episode is about 26 minutes or so long. These are about 40-something minutes long a pop, although each of them is like 5 minutes of credits. So,
yeah, that's something.
Really long credits.
Really long end credits.
Yep.
But you have to be careful. You can't just jump once you see the credits because sometimes there's stuff at the end.
Anyway, it's set afterwards, and at this point, the Night Sabers have kind of like, drifted apart a little bit. They're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Lena's now a stockbroker, doing her stonks.
Stonks.
Yep. Pris is on the verge of making it big, and Nene's still on the 80 Police, and Sylvia is just kind of gone.
Yep, she's being mysterious as ever.
Yeah, and until she's just like, "Hello, I'm here again."
Yay!
And then they all reunite, and still killing boomers and all that stuff. One thing I will say, this over the main series is there's more interconnectedness here.
There's 3 episodes, and they're all interconnected.
Yeah, they're not
It is a continuous story.
Yeah, basically about AIs and little AI things, and
yeah.
Again, it's kind of what it means to be alive in this one. Not what it means to be human, but what it means to be alive.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, the first one is basically them reuniting, and there's like a mercenary group who's stealing stuff, and turns out stealing pieces of an AI for something or another.
Yep.
And then the second one's about a very advanced second gen boomer named Adama.
Adama, like Adam.
Yeah. Get it? Yeah.
Adama. Every time I hear Adama, I'm just going to think of Battlestar, though.
Yeah, that was about Adama, who's is a much more advanced boomer. Basically, his whole thing is he can actually think for himself, which is always a scary thought sometimes when it comes to machine.
Yep. His entire thing is to be human.
Yeah. Again, the whole thing was at what point is a machine alive?
Yep.
And then the third one is more or less, hey, look, robot apocalypse attempted. Averted. Yeah,
And
so...
still did it better than David Cage did.
Oh. It's just about robots. Nothing else.
Robot Revolution.
This other thing is it does do is they finally actually give you some backstory.
To Celia primarily.
Yeah, she's
finally
the important one. They finally we give her like, oh hey, yeah, her dad was the one who created boomers in the first place. Oh, that's kind of important. Yeah, Dr. Stingray.
Yep.
We get that whole thing. Like, yeah, he created boomers and he created the Dama because he always believed that boomers could be, alive.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. But yeah, he died a while back, and now he's got a successor, Dr. Haynes.
He didn't just die.
Yeah. He was murdered.
Murder.
Yeah, Dr. Haynes is successor who's trying to continue his work with Adama and everything. And yeah, then of course he had got another person who worked with Dr. Yuri. He's like, no, I'm going to steal this and kill you and frame it on the boomer.
Yep.
Yeah. I think of these 3 episodes, actually, the first one's kind of I mean, the most important part there is definitely the lightsabers getting back together.
Yep.
And setting up the plot for the other 2, but other than that, it's some random mercenary outfit. Who cares?
Yeah. It's really just a setup episode for the other 2.
Yep. Yeah, the second and third ones are the ones that kind of start getting a little more like, hey, we're going to start asking some quite philosophical questions.
Yeah, once Adama is actually up and walking and interacting with Pris. Pris does not like boomers.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just like, okay, boomers aren't inherently evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pris doesn't like boomers, and yeah, Celia's always been like, yeah, boomers just, they just need to be better, just get it better, because we're just like, yeah, not doing it right. It's not doing it right.
Yeah. I think their point was that Celia was right.
Yep, Celia was right.
The point that they're trying to make is that, yes, they can be good.
Yep, they can be more. The third one got a little weird, too.
It did. Had the return of Largo.
Yep, Largo. From the first series.
Yep. But apparently he's turned into an AI thing.
Yep. He was the one who sent out the viruses. It's like, because we open on the construction team. It's like, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. What?
What? And then he started.
It's time for revolution. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one also got the weird, like, existential things and almost getting infected when they're in their hard suits, and oh boy.
Yeah, that whole scene was that's just getting kind of weird.
And then she flies off to Germany.
And then go to join her brother.
Yeah, who's grown up a bit, because he's not being all pervy.
Well, at least as far as we can see.
Yeah,
he was only on screen for like a minute or so.
Yeah, oh yeah, Leon's back too.
Also, Leon's there.
Again, Leon just kind of exists. Ever. He's got just a new chief, though.
80, please. Yeah. Rubber stamp, basically.
Yeah, the chief who just nothing. Yeah, he's just like, no, we're not going to get. We need this to do our job. Well, no, you're not getting it, though.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing, the first thing I noticed on Crash, though, is the CG intro.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, whoa, CG, hello.
CG, but what is this? Then everything else is normal.
Everything else is normal. Also, the first episode and Pris's debut and how that goes south.
Yep. She's
want to make her an idol, and who would ever want to be an idol?
I'm not an idol. She's a rock star.
Yeah, who would ever want to be an idol?
Gross.
Yeah, gross. Not like anyone here has any sort of interest in idol groups. How many have we talked about so far?
Well, so far it's all been Love Live.
Yeah, but it's how many times have we gone to Love Live?
3 times. Probably a 4th later this year.
Yeah.
That was that one thing that what was the one you were actually kind of interested in from that which one of those sampler episodes?
Zombieland Saga is an idol group too.
Yeah,
so that's the 4th there. So it would be 3 Love Lives, Zombieland.
Zombieland Saga. Zombieland is a whole different thing.
Right. Yeah.
Remember to double tap. It was Lapis Relights.
Oh, right.
You're interested in that. Anyway, that's not what we were going to talk
Any
about.
which way, yeah. Oh, I remember it now. Yeah.
Yeah, Bubblegum Crash is I feel again it improves on a lot of the complaints we had about Crisis, but unfortunately because it's only 3 episodes, it really can't do that much about it.
Yep.
Like if we finally get backstory, there's a more cohesive overall story. Everything we go beyond just Pris, although Pris is a huge chunk of episode 2. But Celia finally gets some fleshing out, you know.
Yep.
Real Celia fleshing out in this. So, but Lena's still kind of like, oh, she doesn't get to do much.
Yeah.
So it's like,
a lot of things we wanted, but we wanted more than just 3 episodes. Although it's not like there was supposed to be more. That's literally all that was supposed to be there. So
yeah.
Definitely better than 80 Police Files.
Yeah, this was also supposed to be a bit longer, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's likely that people are thinking this was a basically condensed version of how Crisis overall was supposed to go. Because what happened was Artmic and Yomix were working on Crisis, legal issues, they split. Artmic did this by themselves, and Yomix tried to sue them, which is why Crash is so short.
Okay. So I guess it was supposed to be longer, even though it doesn't feel like it was supposed to be.
Again, I think they cut down a lot of, it was basically, we had this much stuff to do, we're going to cut out all the fat and then make the thing.
Make the thing, and they made the thing.
And then they remade it later.
Yeah.
And overall, again, like I said last time, I feel like the remake overall is a better realization of the idea.
Yeah.
The only thing it does worse is the aesthetic.
Yeah, because this still definitely has that aesthetic.
Still has that style and the synth and 80s and cyberpunk and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still fun to watch and everything. And it is. I do appreciate that this one does feel a little more substantial in its narrative. So it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So so I'd recommend definitely still watching Crash if you watch Crisis.
Yes. But you can skip 80 Police Files.
Absolutely. There's no reason to watch that.
It adds nothing to the overall story because what it tried to add, it didn't do a good job at.
Yeah. I have no idea about Parasite Dolls.
Yep, no idea.
I just know it's part of the universe, but beyond that, nothing. So, yeah.
Yep.
Crash. It's fun. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're actually I'm not sure what else we can say about it, really.
No, I got nothing else.
It was kind of funny, I guess, Pris and Adama kind of hanging out, I guess.
Yep.
Against Pris's will.
I like that they're down there looking for him, and then he shows up, and she just kind of blows him off. Hey, wait a minute.
Who's your owner?
You're the person I'm looking for. I'm supposed to rescue you.
Stupid thing won't just wants to get on the subway.
Yep.
Even they were being cornered by that comet boomer, and she still has the time, takes the time to put him in a headlock and punch him in the head over and over again because she's mad at him.
Yep. Pris is great like that.
Yeah, I like Pris.
Pris is great.
I also like Pris in the remake. You might like. I'm not sure if you'll like Pris more or less than the remake, because we were going to watch that at some point in the future.
At some point, and I don't know. I'll have to find out.
Because she is a bit different, but not that different. It's more like Pris, but more intense.
So
anyway, I guess that's would be it. Again, another short one for Bubblegum Crisis stuff, because again, I said this last time, but if I had planned this out better and I had known this would have all been 1 episode rather than 2.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Alas.
But yeah, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to check out past and future episodes, you can go to newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com. It's spelled Libsyn. You can check out episodes there and subscribe to the RSS feed. And you can also check out the other destinations for New to Weeaboo, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon Podcasts. Search for New to Weeaboo on any of those. Subscribe on any of those services to keep up with the show as it goes on. That's the thing. You could also contact us via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com, if you have questions or comments or anime recommendations or whatever. What do you think? Have you seen Bubblegum Crash at all and all this stuff? I don't know. Did you see the other stuff? The sequel to AD Police Files and the Parasite Dolls? I'm not sure if they're worth checking out or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that stuff. Yeah, you can do that, or you can check out our Twitter. We're at @NewToWeeaboo. You can see us there. We'll put new episodes up there as they come out and whatnot. And you can also check out our personal Twitters. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1, and he's at Alcatraz with a 77T and an underscore at the end.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm vaccinated finally, fully.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess technically not fully. Apparently, you're not fully vaccinated until after 2 weeks after your second dose.
Yep. The immune system takes time to respond.
Wait, which way? I've got two of both my shots, so I'm good. And you can start trying to get it pretty soon.
Yep. Eligibility opens up on the 15th.
Yeah, apparently some places are already starting to take appointment reservations, so you might want to start looking into that.
Have to start looking at the local region here isn't very great for availability.
Yeah. Anyway,
but yes,
that's it for this episode. Join us next time in a couple weeks. We'll be talking about something a bit different. Hopefully it'll go well. I'm not sure. This is kind of experimental. We're talking about Interstellar 5555, the story of the secret star system, aka Daft Punk, the anime.
Daft Punk, the anime.
So yeah, we'll see you then. And till then, take care of yourselves and goodbye.
Bye.